me just introduce a little bit about our speaker, okay? He is none other than Mr. CP Shin, okay? CP Shin is actually water quality assurance certified water specialist, okay? And what he does is that he actually studied the domestic water filtration system, and he has over 20 years experience in the water industry across Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. And currently, he is one of the 4 certified water specialists in the whole of Malaysia. And in Singapore, as I mentioned earlier, there is not a single certified water specialist here. So it is really our honor to invite Mr. Shin to spend his precious Sunday, an hour with us to answer all our queries. So are you ready to get started? Give me a 1 in the chat box, yeah? All excited to find out what exactly is all about the water filter, right? So I have especially prepared 8 questions. Thank you. 8 questions, burning question that we always want to ask. Do we really need water filter in Singapore? So the first one, let's take a look at here. So the very basic question, do we need a water filter? We know that in Singapore, water is delivered to our household via a water pipe system network of 5,700 kilometers long. And the water is direct from PUB, with some from the over 80,000 rooftop storage tanks in 20,000 buildings. And the PUB actually conduct periodical sample testing on 300 parameters. So the water that comes to our tap and used for drinking is perhaps like 1%, maybe, yeah. Do we really need a water filter? And we know that a lot of people drink tap water, right? And they are okay. So now the thing is that, do we need this water filter? So let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Shin to answer all our queries here. Over to you, Mr. Shin.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's such a wonderful morning, and glad to meet you all here. And thanks, Ms. Tan, for inviting me to share my knowledge. I've been in the industry for the past 20 years, and I have seen a lot of things. And basically, I agreed with what Ms. Tan had mentioned just now. Singapore, you are well blessed. You are so fortunate. And compared to other countries, you have the cleanest water among the Asian countries. You know, the good things. And yeah. She just texted me, I think, 2 days ago, and wanted me to share the knowledge. I think it's ad hoc. But nevertheless, I think I will try my best to answer with all my knowledge to the questions that she have prepared. Okay, I think come back to the first question. Do we need the water filter? Okay, basically, what I want, the answer is so simple. It can be yes or no to Singaporean. Yes or no. To other country, I would definitely say yes. But to Singapore, since that you all have a quite clean in terms of quality of water, it could be yes or no. Why? If you are really concerned about your water quality that you drink, right now you check whether you're happy with the smell, and you happy, can you bear with the chlorine smell, or do you want to further improve the aesthetic of the water in terms of the taste, the odor that you need? And why I would say no, because if you don't choose an effective filter, okay, they mean the filter water, sometimes it might be worse than your tap water, because not a properly designed filter that will recontaminate again after the filtration process. So let us go through one by one. I have prepared something here, okay, and let me go through my okay. Let us talking about the WQA, Water Quality Association, is a non-profit organization. Okay, but when I first started to talk to people, to promote to people about the water filtration system back 20 years ago, then I have encountered a lot of challenges and a lot of queries, about the people. A lot of people simply claim their water filter is the best. That really inspired me. I need to be a professional in this field. That's why I took up this challenge and I took up this study part-time and to qualify as a water specialist with the aim that we need to be professional and everything we talk to be based on science and share with people professionally then what is yes, what is no, and the pro and con talking about in the water filtration system. So basically, WK Water Quality Associations, I think they are the certifier. They certify all the product in the market, okay, to ensure that meet the standard, to provide the customer the best ever, the effective water filtration system. And the other one, they also act as the educator. So they also provide the program. Back to the question just now, doing your water filter. Okay, before that, I think we need to understand today our water, what are inside the water. And according to UN report, today the water mostly become a sick water. Basically, there are a lot of waterborne contaminants inside there. So there are 6 major types of water contaminants. Let us study one by one so that we can get a good understanding about the water. Water not only the H2O, to the hydrogen atom or the oxygen atom inside there. Not only that, today when talking about water, there may come in a lot of plus H2O plus the thing. So first thing we're talking about biological contaminants. Biological contaminants is due to the activities of humankind or the animals. You see, and that it cause the bacteria, viruses, and parasites due to all these activities. Okay, I think since the history of mankind, I think that we don't have proper service system, wherever they just do the business, all these things, their biological microorganisms will contaminate our water quality. And it still happen today, okay, depend the source of the water, okay. And secondly, talking about organic chemical, basically it comes from the agriculture field. Then, in talking about the agriculture, everybody are using the pesticide, herbicide to ensure the produce is much better. It looks, there's no insect on that. Everything is good quality, but we have to pay the price, okay, with the chemical that use. And third, basically, the water that we drink from the in Singapore PUB, right, the municipal. So all the water has been treated. So the process of the treatment, we're using the most economical method. The name is chlorination. They use chlorine, okay, disinfect the things. But anything that we use, they sure have the byproduct. Okay, the side effect, they have the THM, trihalometane, and the chloroform. All these are the byproduct of the disinfection, like the chlorine that we use. And also because of industrializations, there are a lot of the chemical waste, industrial waste, okay, they leak out from the factories. All these are categorized in the inorganic minerals, okay, like the heavy metals, lead, nitrate, arsenic, asbestos, mercury, and all these things. And the other one is, we call it emerging contaminants, okay. Sometimes you may find that, okay, it's called pharmaceutical. All these from the hospital, the medicine that we take, that is not 100% is absorbed by the body. Almost 90% flush out from the body and then the urine and how it go back to the source of the water. Okay, basically the source of water is from the surface water. Okay, easily will be polluted. The antibiotics, cold, flu medicine, sedative, diabetic drug, high blood pressure medicine, painkiller, etc., etc. And the other one is talking about the basically personal care products. Okay, like the the shampoo that we use, SLS, detergent, the cleanser, all these things. Or this is the emerging concern that will contaminate the source of the water. Okay, so basically, and because of all these contaminants in the water, it will cause the the disease acute, let's say about the virus and bacteria, immediately you can see that impact. Okay, if you drink the water and then you got the diarrhea immediately, that means it is very bad. Okay, the acute. But like heavy metal, like the pharmaceutical residue, all these they will form the like chronic disease. It will take years to develop. Okay, sometimes you may not notice it. Okay, and these are the two diseases. That's why, are you really happy, 100% happy, or sure that your water is free of all these contaminants? Then, yes, you don't need any water filter. Okay, but from the industry that we are involved in the USA, we will recommend, okay, to use a good water filtration system, because a lot of things that are unexpected will happen. Okay, some accidentally, all these things. We try, I think no government will give their people bad water, right? Every government they try their very best to give their people the good water. Okay, then a lot of things is unexpected. If you want to have a double insurance, okay, to the quality of water that you drink and the beloved family drink, my advice is to get a good filtration system to double assure that all the contaminant that we mentioned just now will not go into your drinking water. Okay, that is my answer, Mr. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Shin. Okay, so because that is for question number 1. Yeah. So actually, like what Mr. Shin said, is really to double protect our loved ones, because this 1% of water that we use from our tap to our tap, we use it for drinking, and it actually makes up 60 to 70% of our body. So it is really crucial to make sure that it's really clean and safe. So for question number 2, okay, that will be the in the market, we know that we always see different type of water filters, depending on the model, whether it's countertop, is it on the water pitcher, or is just we always hear multiple stage filtration system, 4 stage, 3 stage, or 5 stage, and then we also have this water, like we talk about antioxidant, oxygenated water, mineral water, energy water, hydrogen water. There's so many different types of water. So what do we look for? First thing is that how do we know what type of filter are we getting, and what are they? Yeah. So Mr. Shin, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, very good question. I think we're talking about, due to the advertisement and due to the awareness, I think a lot of people are well aware that you need the filter. And this creates a very huge market for those, the manufacturer, the businessmen, Water is always a huge market. When there is the house, okay, the household there is a high chance for us to promote the water filter. That's why everywhere in the world, that's why they will come out with a lot of different types of the filter. Basically, okay, we can categorize the water filter in the market. We're talking about activated carbon filter, reverse osmosis, and the ultraviolet UV, okay, or the distillations. All these are the 4 basics category. The rest, just now we're talking about like the cloth and all these things. It's all boiled down to what type of method they are using in these filtrations. After that, I will explain further. But basically, we want to let you know that, okay. So these are the filter that we're talking about. And you see, those days we don't have any filter we want to share about. Okay, and then you can see that there are the filter inside here. So these are the 4 basic category that we're talking about. Activated carbon filter, whereby they are using the carbon, okay, to filter. So what are the things when we're talking about the activated carbon? So carbon you can make of charcoal, or you can make from the better quality like coconut shell. There is a different material to make it. Okay, so basically, carbon filter is something like they don't filter. Okay, they will absorb. Specifically, they will absorb like those organics, like pesticide, herbicide, okay, and the chlorine compounds. Those are disinfection products. If you are not happy with the tap water that you're drinking, that may have some the chlorine taste. After that, you can use this activated carbon filter to really have the very good taste of water. It can improve. Okay, so this is the activated carbon filter. They will come in a granule or they will come in the block. Okay, and the second one we're talking about reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is much finer. I will share with you the water spectrum. Okay, so reverse osmosis, the measure about 0.0001 micron is so minute. Okay, and you can see just now we mentioned about those emerging concern type of contaminants, i.e. we're talking about pharmaceutical residue. Okay, we're talking about heavy metals like lead, like arsenic, or the personal care products or byproduct, or that only can be removed, okay, by the reverse osmosis. I think for Singaporean, you are quite familiar with this, our technology, because this is the technology that used to distillation of the water or the process that produce a new water. Okay, use the recycle, you all recycle the water and produce the fresh water to be used, the new water. Okay, this is the technology. Definitely they come with a lot of stages as well. And the third one, they use the UV technology. Basically, they use the ultraviolet light to kill or deactivate their bacteria or the virus. Okay, it just tackle the biological like virus or the bacteria. It doesn't filter, get rid of all these like the heavy metals, don't get rid of pharmaceutical. Okay, and distillation definitely is something like go back to the very natural process of produce the water. Okay, and is heat up the water after condensation, precipitation, and then how they produce a very clean water, pure water. So basically about this thing. And just now, Ms. Tan also mentioned about like those oxygenated water. All these are they pumping oxygen, okay? Or we call that they want to modify a little bit things, or now talking about this thing, or alkaline water and all these things. So basically, what we want is better. We need the very clean, safe, and healthy water as an end result. Before we're talking about to add extra features on this, just like you buy a house, you make sure your roof is not leaking, okay, and your door is not broken before you nicely decorate your house and all these things. So the basic map is there. I'm talking about the water filter, okay, or with the filtration system. The basic thing, the ultimate purpose is to produce the healthy, clean, and safe water for our consumption. That is important. Okay, so these are the four basics, the water filter in the market. The rest they just add on to that only. Okay, Mr.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shin. So that's for question number 2, and then for question number 3. Yeah, so just now you mentioned that about activated carbon, right? And actually in the documentary, Talking Point itself, they highlight that the bacteria can grow there, it become an incubator. So how exactly that how do we know that this thing will not happen, in our water filter, if our water filter happen to have activated carbon in it? Yeah.
Okay, as I mentioned just now, if you are using the activated carbon filter, okay, basically it just absorb the organic matters, okay, and like the pesticide, the odor, you will improve the odor, the chlorine smell, but some they are using the block. Some like activated carbon filter, they are using the block design. They're also able to filter to certain like the bacteria, and then it's not only talking about activated carbon. Okay, it's generally all the filters available in the market. If we don't have the range water or the flushing out, definitely that become a bed for the growth of all the bacteria. So how do we know whether that this filter or activated carbon filter become foul or it's time to change? First thing is very straightforward, from the smell, from the odor. Okay, because when you smell the water, something like rotten eggs, like rotten eggs mean that the body potential, the hydrogen sulfide, will be available in the water, that some of the bacteria, they'll be able to produce this type of the rotten egg smell. Okay, so from there you will know already. Or sometimes you feel that the smell is different, but anyway, all these things must do according to the manufacturer recommendation. I would say that any manufacturer or anyone to promote the filter to you, they always come up with the maintenance schedule, the periodical, how often they need to change it. But basically, and carbon filter, they have the lifespan. Okay, the lifespan, they depend on how much water they filter, like maybe a few thousand liters, the lifespan. Okay, then you have to change it, because after that it loses the purpose. It doesn't function anymore. Okay, so this is the to make sure that this any filter, not only activated carbon filter, but will not become the haven for the bacterial growth. Very important. Okay, the first thing is smell, and the second thing is the best, the most accurate. You send the water to the lab for the bacteria count. Microbiology test. I think that give you the most accurate answer. But will you do that every time, every year? But by right, we should do that every year. They are very concerned. If not, then you change according to their schedule. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shi. But I just want to ask further is that you mentioned about the rinse. What rinse is that?
Okay, the rainwater is something like the, I think after that I will add further, but I can explain a little bit. It's something like the, we take the example like our human body. We drink water, right? We drink water, but after 1 hour later, 2 hours later, we feel the urge, we have to go to the toilets to pass urine, isn't it? Okay, when you pass urine, the process of urination is the process of detoxification. Or the other one is the talking about the washing machine. Washing machine, definitely they got 2 outlets. Okay, one inlet, 1 outlet. The water coming in and then to clean our clothes and everything. And how about the dirty water, the filthy water, they will flush out to another outlet. So a good system, there must always be another rinsing system to flush out whatever dirty thing, to ensure there are no second contamination. And this happens, bacteria will grow on the filter, because we call that this is a second contamination. As I always say, you don't choose a good filter without this the rinsing system or the auto flush system. It's better not to install. Because I noticed some people, they install the filter there, or even the activated carbon filter there for years, 2 years, 3 years, they never bother, but they think psychologically, they feel that the peace of mind, I got a filter, my water should be safe. They always think themselves, hey, my water got filter one, very safe one. No, psychologically, you feel very safe, but at the end, you don't see the result. Okay, so they cause the harm to us. So important thing that is, I think thanks to Ms. Tan brought out a good point, the rinsing system. Okay, called the auto flush. I will elaborate further at the end of the question there.
Okay, so question number 4. Okay, we heard a lot also about RO water, and it was mentioned that it removes all the heavy metals, including the minerals, right? So that now there's no mineral in the water, but our body need minerals. So does it mean that we have to add mineral back into the water, like the talking point, the lady, she was mentioning that hers is a 8-stage, what do you call it? 8-stage, multi-stage water filter. Yeah. And then she add back the mineral. So first thing is that RO water, no mineral, do we need to add? And then the next thing is that RO water, they say that it's too clean. It will leach our mineral from the body, and then do we become like mineral deficiency? So question over to you, Mr. Shin.
Okay, I think this question has been bothering many people, and I've been in the industry for 20 years. For the last 20 years, that is the question I face every time when I talk to people, is the RO water is too clean and all this thing. Okay, I think we go back to the some of the basic point. We're talking about minerals. Okay, we have...
Sorry, Mr. Shin. Mr. Shin, can you unmute yourself?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The important thing is we're talking about the minerals. I think we have to make it very clear. We think logically. Okay. There are 2 types of minerals inside there. The first question, I think we come back to the basic point. the water is not the source of nutrients. We need nutrients, right? We need like the protein, the carbo, the lipid, the fat, the vitamins, the mineral, phytonutrients, and etc. But water is not under categorized as the nutrients. So first thing, we have to be very logical that water is not the source of the nutrients. Okay, this is very important. You can find the books, okay, reading by this thing. And do we need the mineral in the water? Basically, there are two types of minerals. Okay, the first one talking about the organic. Organic means that the bioavailability means our body can absorb, can assimilate for the purpose of metabolisms. Okay, then the other one is the inorganic type of mineral. Inorganic type of mineral means that our body can't utilize them, even though we try to insert, we try to ingest them into our body, but so sad to say that our body can't use it. Okay, now we go back to the water. What type of mineral is in the water? The minerals in the water are of the inorganic type. You can see when the rain fall onto the earth, they will pick up all the mineral from the soil. Let's say the part of the earth, the rich of the iron, yeah, you can find iron in the water, or the calcium, or the potassium, and all these things. Okay, that when you taste it, or you say this is the mineral, yes, they are the minerals, but they are in the another different type of form, which our body can't use it. But for the plants, okay, like the veggie, they can use it because they can capitalize on this photosynthesis process, which they can convert this thing to their food. And we as a human being, we cannot do the photosynthesis process. We take the mineral from the veggie or the plant or the fruits. Okay, so this is something that we have to be very, very clearly. We don't deny mineral is not important. Mineral is very important. But the basic thing is, do we need the mineral from the water? And then what type of mineral is there in the water? That is important thing. I think we have to find a very clear line and don't be confused by those people. You can ask any doctors, okay, though a dietitian, you can ask them about all these things. And let's say you really insist that from the WQA, okay, they have studied this thing. Some people, no, I need the mineral from the water. I need that because your water is too clean without the mineral. Cannot. Okay, we can give you the kind of subsidy from the US. I think Singapore, you may come out, you send the water for the lab test, you can check the calcium. How much calcium, okay, mg per liter inside there, or magnesium, or the potassium. And you can see what is your daily intake. For example, calcium, you need about 1,200 mg per day. Magnesium is 400 mg per day. You just want to depend on water, maybe in Singapore, I don't think, because basically Singapore water and Malaysia salt is about the same. Our calcium, all these things is very low. We're talking about 3 mg. And imagine that you want to drink 1 glass of milk to get the kind of the calcium intake, or you want to drink about a few thousand glasses of water just to take the inorganic. So this is our choice. Okay, everything when we come to this point, we explain it logically and professionally and scientifically. Okay, we don't deny that. And they're also very important. And you keep on ingesting a lot of inorganic minerals to the body, according to this California Department of Consumer Affairs, and according to this Dr. Charles Mayo Clinic has stated that all this highly mineralized water is associated with the formation of stone in the urinary system, like the kidney stone, gallbladder stone, all these things. You can see. Because when your body cannot assimilate or cannot digest it, or cannot use it, eventually they will accumulate, and then will form the stone. That's how you can find the kidney stone, and then they will cause the kidney disease. So it's better that don't, because of the very minute, a few mgs of mineral in the water, and then we want to sacrifice our health. And we want to cause the kind of the health problem to ourselves. I think it's not worth it. Not worth it. So furthermore, right now there is no system in the world that can single-handedly filter out whatever thing just now we mentioned, the contaminant hazardous compound, like the heavy metals, like the pharmaceutical residue, and remain the minerals. There is no such design at this moment, because basically the filtration is boiled down to the size of the filtration site. We call it pore size. Okay, they measure in the micron, 0.1 or 0.01 micron. So it basically, there's nothing. We cannot, the filter, every time we filter the water and then we check, this is a good mineral. No? But behind the good mineral, there are the heavy metal. What were you going to do? Behind that, behind that good mineral, you find the pesticide, herbicide, which is more harmful. So the best way is we filter out all, and this mineral we can take from the other source. Okay, and before just now you're talking about did our water leach the mineral from our body? Oh, that is don't worry. Okay. Our body is 70% made of water, but don't forget our body is full of all this. We call it electrolyte, like the sodium and the potassium and the chloride. All these are the high chloride that we eat from the veggie, the food that we take. Okay, so all these things will remain to make sure that our body is in the balance. We call that equilibrium. No system, I think I repeat again, there's no system at this moment who can differentiate the good minerals remain and the bad one, like the heavy metal, then we will remove it. There's no such a system, because basically filtration system developed on the pore size of the filter. After that, I will elaborate further from a 0.1 micron to 0.001 micron. So we cannot say because I insist this a good mineral, but behind that you may sacrifice your own health by incorporating like the heavy metal in your drinking water or the pesticide and herbicide. So it's not worth it. For me, the recommendation is not worth it because of the very minute amount of the mineral, and then we try to be fussy about all these things. So that is not true. And our water will not leach any chemical. The mineral from the body, basically, our body is a marvelous thing, and it designed in such a way that it can regulate itself in terms of the equilibrium and the balance of all these things, because we have a lot of electrolyte inside there, the food that we take, then our body, that the minerals, the calcium, everything, the body will have the system to maintain and regulate the kind of the balance. So it won't leach out anything. Because this is proven for myself. I've been drinking the RO water for the past over 20 years. Okay, 20 years. My two sons, the same thing. Right now, they become adult. Even my parents are old age. They don't have their osteoporosis problem. Even look at their sport event, the Olympic Games, the sport, all these sport event. They also recommend the RO water, because why? This is the healthy and safety water without worry about much of the contamination. Okay, so I would advise, okay, go for this. Don't look at all these minor thing, and you will invite a lot of losses. I mean, the losses are much more than whatever you could gain. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shin. So let's look into the next question. Okay. So the next question is, a lot of people said that, ask me, is my water alkaline or not? Is this alkaline or acidic? Because I think a lot of people are saying that our body, we are all afraid of cancer, right? And we know that cancer patients, the body are very acidic. So a lot of people say that I drink alkaline water, then I'm safe, so-called. So in your field of expertise, may I know, does pH really matter in terms of drinking water, the safety, yeah, or any benefit or not? Yeah. Over to you, Mr. Shin.
Okay, this also another question that keep on rise from our sharing on this water. Okay, so basically talking about the pH. Okay, the range is the 6.5 to 8.5. Okay, And important thing, why that the range we put in this range, because it will give the better taste of the water. When you see the acidic, too acidic, you have the kind of reject, and the body can't take it, and too alkaline also cannot. And the pH I find is for this range, okay. And people are talking about the alkaline water. You can see our stomach actually is very, very acidic. Okay, the pH talking about 2. Whatever thing that you try to drink, when it comes to the stomach, it will neutralize everything. Okay, so it doesn't affect anything to our health. And just now I mentioned again, for the just now they're talking about the our water will leach the mineral and the pH. The pH of our body, our blood pH is slightly alkaline in a pH of 7.2. Okay, 7.2 something. All right. You don't worry that if you are the normal people, you are the healthy people, you really take care of your diet and drink a healthy water, definitely your body pH will be there. Okay, our body will regulate ourselves. This we call that the mechanism there. Okay, automatically they will adjust. If our body fail to adjust, okay, regulate the pH, it means you are in the bad stage of health. Okay, so water it doesn't, pH doesn't affect our health. I want to emphasize again. Okay, and look at the tap water. Let's say talking about alkaline water, because tap water normally they contain all this calcium inside there. Basically, they are the alkaline. You need to buy any alkaline machine. Okay, and you talking about like every day you think about the juice and you think about the fruit juice, orange juice, apple juice. They are quite acidic, but the thing is, when all these things go into the body, our body will convert them. In fact, they are alkaline food. So basically, in the food, I would like to share a little bit about the alkaline food and the acidic food. Okay, those food after the process of digestion in our body, and they will remain as the like the sodium or the potassium or calcium or magnesium, the kind of minerals. Okay, they are the alkaline food. If after the digestion, okay, the residue were in the sulfur or phosphorus, okay, they are acidic food. Just like when you eat rice, when you eat noodle, a noodle actually, when you test the pH, the alkaline, you know, all the Hokkien noodle and all this noodle alkaline because they use the alkaline water to produce it. But after you eat it and you digest it, then it becomes acidic. Because after digestion, okay, they will remain as the sulfur or phosphorus and all this thing. But all the fruits are lemon, oranges, you know, it's very acidic. We test the pH, the acidic. But after you have digested, you know, whatever remain, the residue remain is in the calcium form, potassium form. Okay, that's why they are alkaline. So it's not the pH, the food that you intake, it's the thing that the residue that after the digestion process. So water doesn't affect anything. Don't worry about all this pH water. And furthermore, from the WQA, I just want to check back the thing. Just now I got from WQA, there are so many things that we're talking about in the water. We're talking about the water. They are talking about alkaline water and all these things water. And let me check back the things. Okay, for all these like the for the alkaline water, they a lot of claim. They say this is good, that is good, right? But that is nothing. They take time to prove that. And our WQA, okay, so far they have not come out any test to confirm that. Okay, so don't believe that all this alkaline thing is good. So far, there is no scientific proof yet. So basically, I will recommend and advise go back to the clean, safe, and healthy water. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shin. Okay. So So pH really doesn't matter. So what is important is really clean, healthy, and safe water. So if let's say now I'm considering to get one water filter, yeah. So to what exactly do I need to look for in a water filter? What supposed to be removed from my water? So can you advise me, Mr. Shi?
Yes, very good question. I think this is the point that I always share with people, regardless who they are, whoever promote to us. I think there are two factors that are very important that we need to talk to them. Okay, and oh, okay. Can I share this screen, Miss
Yes,
Tan?
yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. Because this is the thing I always emphasize and I always share to people in a very simple way. There are two factors. How are we going to choose a filter? So I think it's good that I share with you. And today, just now we said the market is flooded by a different brand of the water filters, and they will come out with very funny name as well. I think there are two categories down here. Two factors very important for us to make a good decision to choose a filter. The first thing, just now, Ms. Tan was asking the question, what are you going to remove? I think just now I have mentioned about the contaminants, 6 major contaminants of water. I think that are the things that we want to remove. So to answer that question, I think the first thing, always ask the filter pore size. Okay. And second, the factor is that the fact you will ask 2 questions. That's only. The first is what is the filter pore size, and the second is do they have the rinsing or backwash system. These two, okay, if they can meet these two requirements, I would say that this system should be a good system. It will be virtually remove whatever thing, okay, in the water, especially hazardous system. Let me go through by you. Okay, I think this knowledge is very important. We're talking about the water filtration. I think we need to know about the filtration spectrum, all the things in the water, okay, and all the particles in the water, like the biological or the sand, the virus, the hybridator, they are of their particular sizes. Okay, they have the particular size. And all the particular size they measure in the micrometer. Okay, let us go through one by one here. Look at here. You start from the 10 micron or 1 micron. Look at 1 micron. Try to look at the diagram. 1 micron. What can you find from there? Bacteria, paint, pigment, for example, emulsion. Okay, and they come to 0.1. The micron bacteria is still there. Okay, no more bacteria, but you can see the smoke and Baston is still there. And come to 0.01 is much finer. You can see that like the albumin protein, the virus there already. Okay, colloidal silica, gelatin. And you come to 0.001, you must can see synthetic dye, pesticide, herbicide. They have become much smaller. And metal ion and all these, the heavy metal, they fall after 0.001. And the pharmaceutical residue, they also fall after 0.001. So basically, and when you're talking about the filter, okay, besides talking about particle filtration, I think the first thing we're talking about microfiltration. Microfiltrations are the filter that the pore size is range from 0.1 to 1 micron. Let's say from this diagram, you can easily see it. Let's say the filter is a microfilter. Okay, they're able to filter the bacteria, some paint, pigment, okay, some of the dye, okay, but they always have the limitation. Mostly all the filters on market, like the carbon block filter, okay, alkaline water filter, they're using this block activated carbon block filter, okay, and generally filter, they are fall in this range. In the market, very general, you see the market, the brand may have different name, but basically they are fall in this range. This technology called microfiltration, and you know there is a microfiltration that the limit is up to 0.1 micron. Okay, and the second one is much better. Okay, you heard about not the nano. The second one should be the nano, the ultrafiltration. Okay, ultrafiltration, they fall in the range of 0.1 to 0.01. Okay, mostly like those brewery, like those factory, they're using this one. And you come to ultrafiltration, you see they're able to filter out the virus. Okay, let's say people claim, they make the claim, they talk to you, oh, my filter very good. I can filter the virus, I can filter the bacteria, I can filter and etc. etc. So you ask him the question, what is the micron size of your filter? Oh, 0.01. Oh, yes, agree. They can filter part of the virus, but not heavy metal, not pesticide, herbicide. Okay, then like the pharmaceutical residue. Okay, when talking about nanofiltration, yeah, nanofiltration fall in the which range? 0.01 to 0.001. You can see some of the food or cosmetic product, they claim they are using nanofiltration. Then they mention about nanofiltration, you know that the micron size is down to 0.001. Yeah, they do like a lot of things that the microfiltration, the ultrafiltration cannot filter. Okay, virus definitely remove all. Okay, like the endotoxin, pathogens, synthetic dye, and everything. But how about just now we mentioned about the pharmaceutical residue, personal care products, byproducts. Okay, like the heavy metals, maybe the water you can have the lead, the manganese, copper, and all these things inside the water. We do not know. Okay, so we need what? This is a reverse osmosis. Basically, it's a 0.0001 micron. It's so fine, and basically the whatever they proven test that whatever hazardous thing, harmful thing, it will not pass through. Whatever thing it pass through is just a water molecule and some iron. So basically, I think that is my answer to that question, Ms. Tan.
Oh, that's a lot of things to digest, man. Yeah, but it's very comprehensive. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Shin. Okay, then the next questions I have is that how do I know this water system is reliable or not? Yeah, how do I know it hit it say or it does what it says? So
Okay.
what are the certification to look for?
All right. I think that is very quick questions. Another thing, I think we need a third-party certification. I think that is important. Okay. Can I share the screen, Mr.?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, share now.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think we're talking about the third party, the certification is very important. It's not up to you and me, even though I'm a water specialist. I think it's very important that we have to know that we need a third party, independent third party to certify this product and the system, whether it's good or not. Basically, in the market, I think WQA, just now I mentioned earlier, when I started these sessions, I mentioned WQA also the certifier to all the products, okay? And the other one is very common, NSF. Let's say today you're going to choose about the RO system because you are very, very sure I want the best water, the healthiest water for my family. Because even though your water, you can have the water right from the tap, but my chill, all this like the I will call that the heavy metal, the pharmaceutical residue that of no taste, and then you send for the test. Not every time you can have it, but accidentally, what will happen? I would say that accidentally will happen. You really want to make sure that you have a very good quality of water. You go for our system and you choose our system. Okay, from the third party certification, WQA, you need the gold silver S300. For NSF, you have the NSF certification of 58. For activated carbon, okay, you go for WQA S200. And NSF 42, NSF 53. Okay, for the UV, NSF 55. For the distillation system, WQA S400. These are the two major body in the world. They are the certifier to certify whether this unit is good or no good. At least some third party to test the thing for us, to certify for us. I think that should be good. Okay, you can have a peace of mind before you make any decision to purchase. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shin. So the next one is that, they will always say, oh, so I do remember I have a filter previously, and I never get to change the filter, any part of it. So I always wonder, is it still safe to use or not? So So is there such, first thing I would like to ask is there such a filter whereby you don't need to change any part and you can still use? Is there such a filter in the market whereby it really it can protect us, or do we really need to change our filter, and how often we need to change our filter, or need to change the whole system? I don't know. Can you advise us?
Yeah, good question. When we see the words of filter, they have filtered out something. When they filter something, there is something that remaining inside there. So it's very, very obvious that you have to change it. But how often you have to change it? Go back to the manufacturer. The manufacturer, when they design the filter, they always have the menu recommendation how often you need to change. Just like carbon filter, they have the lifespan. Sediment filter, they have the lifespan as well. But sediment filter, or normally you install outside, maybe at the tape, the faucet there. Some of them you can see like the cartridge, you can see the color. But right, when you first bought the cartridge, very white color, after 1 week, it all turn black. It's time for you to change. Correct or not? So some visually you can see, but those things already been concealed inside the machine. Go to their manufacturer recommendation and change it. You have to change it, or else it become the bait for the bacterial growth. Dangerous.
Okay. I see. Okay, so we have actually what do you call finished the last question, and now we are in the question and answer. Let me take a look. Is there any questions in the chat box? Any one of you have question? You can unmute yourself now. This is your best time to clarify your doubt if you have about water filter, because we have the expert here, the one who is really qualified to share with you about what you need in a domestic to get a good domestic water filter system. Yeah, any one of you have any questions, you are welcome to ask questions here. Yeah, I guess it's that we have covered quite a lot of things, like the types of different water filter. But what I can hear from you is that generally, because of the current contaminants that inside the water, and I also do know that the water that we use today is the same set of water our ancestors used many thousand years ago. And this water has been recycled all this while, correct?
Yes, exactly.
And so this water, and the thing is that because of the modernization, so many things has been introduced to the world, and I know that whatever we introduce, it will go to the water system, right?
Yes.
Am I right to say that?
Yes, agree with that.
So having a good water system is pretty important. But of course, it's like we talk about the oxygen, having more oxygen in the water sounds very good for us. Having more antioxidants sounds good for us. Yeah. But I guess it's like we don't want stones inside our body. I guess it's like all the inorganic mineral, that resulted in the stones. Yeah. So another thing is that just want to ask is that if a lot of people feel that I have been drinking the water and there's nothing wrong with me. They always say that my parents, my grandparents, they have been drinking water, no need, we just boil water. Yeah. So what do you think we should how can we share the info to them, that whereby they can at least open up to understand why a water filter is very important?
Okay, I think very good question on this thing. Okay, we're talking about back 20 years or 30 years ago, and our country is not so advanced. There are not so many factories, and in terms of industrialization, they're not so advanced. Basically, we call it the pollution, the contaminants. Basically, is not much. It's just bacteria or some germs. That's why 30 years back or 40 years back, you just boil water, good enough. Then some of them, let's say they're residing in the countryside, they take the water from the well. Some of the source is quite clean, especially when you're down very deep and the area is without any pollution. Yes, you can have the clean water. basically the source of the water either from the groundwater or from the surface water, from the river, everything. Not much of pollution, I think it's okay. And you imagine that you compare those people who live deep inside the jungle, they can enjoy the best quality of water. Basically, is the rainwater. But today, due to industrialization, due to the we're talking about the talking of medicines, okay, pharmaceutical, all these things, a lot of the pollution coming in. So we have to do filter. But people will claim that I've been drinking this type of water for so many years. See, I'm still healthy. So God bless, congratulations. Because why? The kidney. Because we still have a very good system of filtration in our body, which our kidney, So they are trying to filter whatever toxic thing which will be harmful to our body every day. Every day. Okay? So if we keep on burden the kidney, and one day they will strike, they say, oh, Lord, I think I can't serve you anymore. Then at that time you have the kidney disease. So drink with a good system filter, clean, pure and safe water. I think that will lessen the burden of the kidney as well. In other words, that will also prolong the good health of the kidney and also improve the health of ourselves. So right now it's different because right now you look at the contamination from those days, only one type of contamination right now becomes 6 and become more and more coming in. We don't know yet. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe the radiation, radioactive thing, all these things will happen. Okay? Just
Thank
like,
you, Mr. Shin.
Yeah, just like in Japan, let's say the nuclear reactor, they try to release all this the waste to the sea. Imagine what happened to our seawater in future. All this radioactive. The compound. So the only system you can remove all these things is the RO system. So the good filtration system is still very crucial in this manner.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, for myself, it's like because I do visit Philippines, and when I drink that water, the chlorine smell is so strong. But in Singapore, the water looks so clean, and so a lot of people feel that our water looks very clean now, put it this way. But in Philippines, all the household they have water filter system, or they use the bottled water, so-called filtered water. So yeah, perhaps I don't know, because it's like we don't smell it, we don't see it, so we think it looks clean. That's why a lot of people just continue to drink the water. Yeah.
Aesthetics wise, I think I agree with you. The Singapore water is very clean, and whether the water is whether okay. The other thing we can check, you check your glass or you check your kettle got any stain or any skill. Let's say got any the skill form mark inside your kettle, or you try to use a lot of detergent. Okay, when you the washing machine, or you increase your shampoo or the soap, it means your water is hard. Okay. And let's say your glass with a lot of stain, they mean a lot of iron, all these things. But I think basically, I don't know, you have to check your glassware, the kettle to decide the thing. But in terms of the color, Singapore water is very clean. But to me, the taste also a little bit different to me, because I travel also a lot of countries, especially Indonesia. I always look for what? Bottled water, but not the mineral water, right? Or not the mineral water. I always look for the RO water or distilled water to make sure it's very safe. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so okay, I think it's like we have actually we overrun 10 minutes already.
Okay.
So it has been really a very fruitful session with Mr. Shin to for his time to spend with us now, answer all the query. It seems that there is not much no questions here. So so let's put a big hand to Mr. Shin once again for his generous sharing. Yes. You have learned a lot, right?
For your benefit.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Shin. So to summarize, is that the primary objective of getting a water filter is really to have clean, safe, healthy water. And if you want to look for a filter, go for a good one. If not, don't get Otherwise, in Singapore, we have a contamination, further contamination. Because so thank you every one of you who have participated here. So for those of you who come to this session because of someone introduced to you, refer you, you may want to talk to the person and find out more about our next health talk. Yeah, or maybe you want to look for a water filter, can talk to the person as well. Yeah, so that's it for